unfamiliar path with a pulse of its own.
3, 2, 1.
Final Encountercast. Interesting conflicts, not conflicts of interest.
Typical corporate bullshit.
With your hosts, Nate, Robbie, Chris, Nika, and Callie. FinalEncountercast.com.
Ready? Get set? Go!
Hey, what's up? Welcome to Final Encountercast. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate having you along. Twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio at 1 p.m. If you want to join us on the live show. Of course, you can call us anytime that we're live. Final Encountercast on Skype, 810-207-1764. We hope that you do. We love hearing from you if you want to call the show. Kookie is standing by to take your calls. Appreciate having you along. FinalEncountercast.com is the website. You can go there and check out all 74 episodes that have come before this, made possible by your support over at patreon.com/Limit Break Radio. Of course, this show is done by the support of our Patreons over at patreon.com/Limit Break Radio by keeping us above $2,000, which we are well below at this point. So we would hope that you, if you enjoy this show, if you like what you hear, if you download the show every week, if you tune in live on Twitch every week, if you listen on YouTube,
if you masturbate to a Nero's voice,
especially if you masturbate to us, I mean, you owe it at that point.
Yeah, come on. I mean, if you can, yeah, if we can, if you
we're
can,
basically sluts at that point. If we just want to be prostitutes,
if you can eke out the saddest orgasm ever to an episode of this show, then I think you definitely owe it to us.
What?
You owe it to yourself, maybe.
Pornhub doesn't even charge. Why would we?
I mean, well,
we don't charge.
I'm not,
we're real people. That's why.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah, there's no hard charge. Like you don't need to give us money, but sort of like a cam girl, like you wanna, right? Like,
yeah,
right?
sort of like a cam girl, except without
right?
any of the
like,
visual appeal.
You wanna, right?
We're show some nip.
We can't show.
Oh, make this stop. Why is this happening now? Are you being mind controlled by Juxta?
No, I'm not.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty positive.
Daddy, you know what? That sounds like something Juxta would say if he was mind controlling.
I agree.
You.
Anyway, thanks.
It was really dumb.
Thanks for joining us. By the way, if you haven't yet, subscribe to us over on iTunes and maybe consider leaving us a review for this show.
No, leave us a fucking review. How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Not maybe feel like just do it.
No, do it.
Do it.
Or maybe go leave us a review.
Maybe consider leaving us a review.
Do it or we'll cane you in the balls.
Wow.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, it did.
Sorry. I don't know where that came from.
We only deal in extremes here on Final Encountercast.
That's right. But we do appreciate having you along. Hit that follow button if it's your first time joining us on Twitch. If you're finding us by accident, again,
sorry.
We're available on all of those platforms: YouTube, podcast, on-demand audio over at our website, FinalEncountercast.com.
Starting next week, live in studio. You can just sit right back there. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we're gonna sell tickets. You can sit next to Tracer if you'd like.
Oh my God, yeah. Final Encountercast was recorded in front of a live studio audience.
You know what? It would be cool to take this show in front of a live studio audience, not just a live listening audience.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, we would even provide complimentary tomatoes.
But you know what we really do need? I mean, I think if we can get people to pay us to be our interns and drink fetchers. Like, I think that's a good program right there. Like, we'll sign off on whatever bullshit school paperwork you need us to sign off on.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We'll tell them you got valuable learning experience.
Sure
you did. Why not?
Sure.
Real world experience.
Right.
That's boy.
Absolutely. Anyway, I think that's the ultimate scam. That's the one we need to figure out.
That's the dream.
Yeah, right. Anyway, if you're not familiar with us, if you're not familiar with the show, we host another podcast called Limit Break Radio. It's all about Final Fantasy XIV, as well as a internationally syndicated radio show called Checkpoint Radio. You can find that at checkpointradio.com. checkpointradio.com, and we hope that you would. Over there, we've got the Checkpoint Radio podcast, where you can find our news segments, as well as the Checkpoint Radio podcast. For our listeners that have been enjoying those episodes on our feeds for Limit Break Radio and Final Encountercast, those will cease this week. Yeah,
oh, man.
Enough complaints are starting to roll in at this point where I'm just like, all right, fine. Yeah, we've been hitting you guys for like 9 or 10 weeks with Checkpoint Radio podcast stuff. So we appreciate if you don't like it, if it's been clogging up your feed, we appreciate you being patient with it. If you've checked it out and you like it, make sure that you go follow the Checkpoint Radio podcast feed that's available at our listen page over at checkpointradio.com, along with full episodes on demand, as well as past interviews and some other older segments that are on demand as well. We're actually working on a brand new website design for checkpointradio.com. We've actually seen kind of a beta version of the site so far.
Pretty sleek.
And
It looks really bad. Oh.
I was really impressed with it. Did
you make it?
I did not. No.
Oh, that's why it looks good then.
So we're going to be exciting. We're going to be excited to roll that out in probably the next couple of weeks. I think we're going to be able to have a little bit more comprehensive of an archive as well. I've been looking at platforms like Mixcloud as a possibility to host some of the full episode archives, so you can we can be able to host a full archive of when the show started. That was back in March?
Oh,
February.
Yeah.
I think our first episode dropped in February.
We're 6 months old.
I know. It's crazy to think that we've been doing that show for that long. And it's even like it's pretty cool because I feel like now we've worked into a good kind of like workflow pattern between all three of the shows.
Yeah, like it's not chaotic every single week.
It does,
with something being forgotten every single week.
That's right. Yeah. It doesn't feel like a big point of stress to be able to do all three. I think that we've adjusted now quite well to all three.
So we can add a fourth show in.
No.
Yes.
No.
I mean, that's eventually
I really want to do a podcast about shoes.
I think as soon as someone is able to quit their job to be able to make content for the network, then I think we might see another show or two.
Yeah, I would agree.
Maybe 3.
But
probably a show every single day, to be honest.
But as it stands, though, if you're subscribed to the LBR podcast feed, right? Like if you're subscribed to the LBR network, you're getting content almost every day of the week. I think the only days that we're not actively adding content to the feed are the days that we're actually live doing the content. So, Sundays you don't get anything because we're live right now doing this show. Mondays you get Final Encountercast. Tuesdays you get Limit Break Radio as well as Checkpoint Radio on demand. Wednesdays is when we do
Checkpoint recording day.
Checkpoint Radio Live, which, by the way, not starting this week, but the week after is when we're going to be doing live segments of Checkpoint Radio over at twitch.tv/Checkpoint Radio. So make sure that you followed that because we're super excited to be able to give this a try. I've realized how many things that still kind of need to be set up in order to be able to do that. Like I've got to be able to have our most up-to-date imaging. Like we use kind of old intros and dummy carts in the studio when we record stuff. So we've got to actually think about the ins and outs and how that's going to be presented live. It's going to be a little bit more interesting to kind of figure out the performance aspect of all of that.
Remember when we listened to like 2 minutes of Grand Theft Auto ads in between every segment?
Well, and for a while those Grand Theft Auto ads were I was putting those in the commercial segments when we would re-air the show live on the stream. So yeah, I do remember that. That was before we had a really good sense of timing and being able to time out our segments.
Right.
And we needed the commercials in there to tell us, like, we recorded it basically as a show.
Yeah.
Which not the best way to do that.
It's almost like it's better when we can take a moment to talk out the segment if we need to.
Yeah, not just that, but I mean, like, we've got a pretty good clock established. Look how gross that paper is.
That's not a clock. That's a pie graph.
That's
very
Pie graph
official.
of the show clock.
That's the hour breakdown of Checkpoint Radio.
Now I really want pie.
That's a very official looking piece of paper.
It is. That is our official clock, according to Westwood One. And yeah, it's a little bit easier to kind of program for that stuff now. So we are going to be doing parts of that live. We also have got to get a call screener too. And I know Evil Hippie had volunteered. But I'd like to be able to try to find someone local if possible. But if not, we do know, obviously, Kooky being able to show everyone that you don't need to be in studio to be able to make something like that happen. So it's definitely possible. But yeah, make sure you go check out checkpointradio.com. And if you want, stay tuned after Limit Break Radio for this week's Checkpoint Radio. That we'll have that re-air coming up right here on twitch.tv/Limit Break Radio. All right, let's check out what is going on in the news.
I'm here to do the news tonight.
And that's the way the news goes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt this program to bring you important news.
Here's a story that's out of this world.
Alrighty, so following an exciting reveal at E3, Horizon Zero Dawn's first DLC, The Frozen Wilds, has its release date. Story-based DLC is going to feature a new area complete with quests and story. It's priced at $20 and is coming out on November the 7th.
Yes! So excited for this. Pretty sure it's going to take place in what is, quote, used to be Yellowstone National Park, because they mentioned that it would have to do with a giant super volcano. And the original story took place in the Colorado, sort of Utah area.
Colorado? That's a state that we have not one, but two stations in. I would recommend that you know how to say it.
Actually,
Colorado.
It is actually called Colorado in Horizon Zero. So.
It's so far in the future they renamed it.
Yeah.
I can't tell.
I cannot confirm or deny if that's true.
I can't tell if he's being serious or not.
But I'm super, super excited for that.
So it seems like all too often we have some controversy. There's no talk. Let's just quit.
Junk.
Let's just scrap the show today. It's done.
What was the word that
asterisk?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, no?
There was
epitome.
No.
That was a classic,
oh my God,
though.
we're just adding to this list of words that Robbie has butchered over time.
Everyone butchers words on this show.
No, Asterix was my word. That was my that was my botch.
No. It was intristic. Was the one.
Intristic.
Intristic.
Checkpoint.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was so good.
There was no way that we could let that slide without calling you out on that. And you didn't even bother retaking it, so I was like, all right, I guess we got to leave the call out in. All right, cool.
Anyway, it seems like all too often we have some controversy surrounding a streamer with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. As the game is still in early access, Bluehole has said that a player who encounters a game-breaking bug should report it and leave the game to join a new one. A popular streamer by the name of Destiny encountered a bug wherein no houses or structures loaded for him, meaning he could see and shoot through walls.
Ooh.
Nice.
That pretty advantageous. So instead of reporting the bug and leaving as he was supposed to, he grabbed a car and went around mowing people down, promptly earning himself a soft ban. The community is still debating whether it was appropriate or not to do so.
Oh, come on.
Okay.
It was a soft ban. Big deal.
Look, yeah. Soft ban, that's probably the appropriate response. Was it the right thing to do? Probably not.
In his aspect, definitely.
Was it a hilarious thing to do? Absolutely.
Dude, and his knowledge of it is so good too, because as he's streaming, he realizes he's got no structures loaded and he hops in the car and is like, I'm getting banned, and just starts mowing people down.
Well, here's the thing though, because that's not necessarily something that he can recreate, right? He just happened to load in and some weird glitch was like, no buildings.
No,
right?
but I mean, but if the developer has been, pretty transparent about the fact that, if you experience a glitch that is a glitch, leave the goddamn game.
Report it to us and leave the game.
Yeah.
That was one match.
But I mean,
a joke, you bitch.
It was
Kinda.
damn funny. But the thing
And
is,
plus, he was probably like helping out the developers because now they have streamed evidence of how the bug came into fruition. You know
How
what?
it works.
You know what? Niantic or Blizzard or whatever, you're welcome.
Neither of those.
Bluehole?
Neither of those two.
wow.
Bluehole?
Bluehole's the developer of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, yes.
I guess it's better than a brown hole.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I mean, is it?
I don't know. A blue hole? I mean, just sounds like they died of being frozen.
Or how did your hole get blue? Is like it black and blue? That's just blue though?
I mean, I'm just going to say, I've had fun in brown holes. Like, a lot. So.
After you're done, does it become blue?
Not generally, no.
No, more like a milky.
Oh God.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the thing is that we've seen, other developers kind of respond and react to game-breaking bugs like that, especially in online environments. I mean, think of like it would be kind of similar to like if a glitch like that happened in an MMO and someone just decided, fuck it, like I'm just gonna roll with it. Like if getting banned or soft banned, you're like, yeah, okay, they were knowingly using an exploit, or
Sure.
they knowingly exploited a glitch. Like, pick your phrasing; it's the same fucking thing.
Here's what I'll say. Yeah, was a soft ban probably merited? Maybe. But was it worth it? Hell yes. That must have been so much fun on stream.
Oh my god!
And the stream highlight is immortalized forever.
Yeah, I would say that's definitely worth the stream highlight more than than the soft ban.
Definitely
would be a detriment. Yeah.
The WNBA, including every player on all 12 of its teams, will be making its video game debut in NBA Live 18. The teams will not be available to any of the game's career modes and will not be able to compete against NBA teams. However, they did suggest that individual players could appear in a career mode for NBA's Live's The Streets mode.
So what's the fucking point? Exactly.
The whole thing seems so arbitrary.
It's a skin that you can't even. It's like a skin for a team that you can't even use, for 60% of the game.
They're just dodging a bullet because obviously all the women players are going to be worse than the male players and their little stat screens. So, like, why would you even want to put yourself there? Just to hide their stats, which are clearly inferior to the males, and just say, "Yep, there you go. You got your women in the game now."
So we've had all-star teams. Now we've got the women's team. I want the names team put in. I want a team of just the best names you can find. Like in college football, there's a guy this year named Richard Worship.
Okay.
His name is Dick Worship.
Dick Worship.
Dick Worship. His parents fucking hate him.
That is a pretty rough one. I'm going to say that's definitely rough.
So Square Enix and AMD have announced an indie game platform called AMD For You. Many of the games released will be from the Square Enix Collective, Square Enix's indie game publisher. As part of the deal, anyone who buys an AMD-powered PC from a range of OEMs will be able to validate the hardware and get 3 games for free.
I think what I'm most surprised about here is that Square Enix has enough indie games to be able to justify a program like this.
Indie games that they've kind of like helped develop. They publish stuff that's fairly indie sometimes, but
my question is, who does this really benefit? Like who's getting the most out of this? Square Enix or AMD?
I'm not sure either of them get a ton out of it. Maybe AMD?
Do either of them really get that much? Oh, I bought an AMD computer, now I get a free indie game.
Well, yeah, the 3 people buying AMD parts still are going to get 3 games. So there's 9 games moved. That's not awful, I guess.
Okay, but now there are going to be more people buying AMD so they can because they can hop on the Square Enix indie game bandwagon.
I mean, but who is that marketing to? Are you marketing towards the guy who wants Battalion 1944 and happens to also be getting ready to build a new computer? That's a pretty niche market.
A little bit.
I'm curious what titles are even in here.
We got it loading up now.
Yeah, I mean, Kooky.
I'm sure they're only going to be the finest of indie flavor.
Oh wow, there's even
music.
There's sound.
Stop.
I've already muted. I got it.
It's like your
ambient
amateur.
I've never heard of any of these.
Oh, what do we got? Bushido,
the way of men. Ved,
the way of men.
Wait, the way of men.
The way of men.
That's a Yoi game.
That's so awesome.
Soul Reaper and Quarn Armada Tactics.
Wait, I remember Soul Reaper. That name, at least I've heard before.
Yeah, it's the one, the fighting game with the sword.
No,
and,
you're
like,
thinking of
pictures
Soul Reaver.
Oh, yeah. Or Soul Calibur.
The one with the big soul, yeah.
Recent projects, let's see, Sons of Soul, Bannerman.
I feel like I've heard of Bannerman, but I don't know anything about it off the top of my head.
There's Bannerman in it.
What is it? Meat Possible?
Oh my
Meat Possible?
Yeah.
Is that like a Meat Boy playoff?
That's what she said.
Uprise, Marble Land. I mean, like, I just...
That's it? That's all of them?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
unfortunate. I've never heard of any of those.
That's a little underwhelming.
Well, that was dumb.
I was at least hoping something like
Kingdom Hearts.
Final
Final Fantasy 13.
No, something like maybe what's the game that
Lara Croft
that you had played from Square Enix recently that was the Chrono Trigger.
I Am Setsuna?
I Am Setsuna.
Yeah, but that comes from the Tokyo RPG Factory. Are they considered indie?
I know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would or not. But
I feel like this whole thing between Square Enix and AMD should have some type of better directive than just, we're going to give you some free indie games, you know?
You know what would have been a better partnership? Intel and Square Enix with actual, with their first party games.
But what does Intel have to gain from that?
Admittedly, not a ton. They've got 19 core processors they got to
have
sell.
money to gain.
I was going to say,
from Square Enix.
By the way, does anyone
have money to give to Intel?
Well, not anymore. They spent it all on honey buns.
Mrs. Freshley's.
Destiny 2, speaking of this, Destiny 2 is partnering with Rockstar Energy and Pop-Tarts, offering XP boosts and other in-game items for purchase of the products. This isn't the first time they've done so, as the expansion to Destiny 1 was partnered with Red Bull for similar promotions. Pop-Tarts?
Well, I mean, at least the campaign is clear.
It gives players a reason to actually buy the stuff.
Hang on.
Well, you're still not going to eat it.
Hang on. What was the actual Mrs. Freshley's campaign? Does anyone know?
I don't think it gave you anything. It was literally just, hey, Final Fantasy Stormblood's a thing.
Yeah, it was literally the logo printed on the fucking package. That's it. That's it. I think that there was one other promotion that they ran with Mrs. Freshley's, but that's it. And it's
I cannot get over that fucking
Mrs.
name.
Freshley's. I know, right?
Freshley's.
It's such a stupid name.
It's so stupid. I want one.
No,
you don't.
Stop.
You really don't.
No, you know what?
They sound fresh.
This is coming from
Go downstairs. There's a vending machine. Go downstairs.
You have a vending machine in this
There
building?
is.
That's terrifying.
Around back, right? Like, go down, buy one of the Big Texas cinnamon buns. Okay, I actually like Big Texas cinnamon buns, but the thing is that vending machine has a very unique thing where for 4 hours it just gets nothing but pure sunlight. So it melts everything in there. So the Big Texas cinnamon buns come out at a very specific consistency out of that package. Go eat one of those and tell me that you still want a fucking Mrs. Freshley's.
Nate, you are talking to the guy that went to Burger King for the Fruit Loop shake.
The Fruit Loop shake and the Lucky Charm shake.
Oh my god,
the Fruit Loop shake was edible.
Pretty good. Yeah, that was good.
The Lucky Charm's not good.
Shut up! Nobody cares.
Burnt, right?
Burnt. Why?
Oh my god! How did they burn a milkshake?
I don't know. That's so dumb.
Anyway,
but I mean, again, at least the campaign is clear that there are bonuses that you get for actually buying the shit.
Yeah.
So.
Finally, a reason to buy Pop-Tarts, I guess.
Okay, so are we gonna buy this? Are we gonna play Destiny 2? If we're gonna play Destiny 2, then we gotta buy some Pop-Tarts.
It's true. Is that a business expense for us at this point?
Chris is just desperately looking for an excuse to buy Pop-Tarts.
Well, for starters, I don't need an excuse to buy Pop-Tarts. They're fucking delicious.
What flavor Pop-Tarts?
Basically anything except for blueberry. Oh my
god!
And these new flavors like the orange cream soda and the root beer. Terrible.
Ooh.
They're so bad.
I like as a kid, I ate way too many of the cinnamon flavored
brown sugar cinnamon.
I can't eat
They were
anymore.
I don't think I could eat them again.
Dude,
I don't think it was one of those things where I don't know if I threw them up one day or something, but it was just
I saw a ranking that had the 26 flavors all ranked.
Oh, yeah.
Brown sugar cinnamon 25 out of 26.
Ugh. Like popularity vote?
No, this was just a guy who ate all of them and tasted them.
It's just that fuck that specific guy.
25 out of 26. The only one that was higher than was low fat brown sugar cinnamon.
Oh my god, get the fuck out of here.
That guy just had something against brown sugar cinnamon.
By the way,
Maybe
Wild Berry
brown.
got number 1.
Wild berry?
Wild berry.
When you have stuff like s'mores, get out.
Oh man, I'm
that's
not.
a good one, too.
I am not a fan of the s'mores.
How about the chocolate chip cookie dough ones? Those are so good.
Do that one.
Strawberry?
The chocolate fudge sundae. That's a
No,
good one.
God, dude, that's so much sugar. Like, how do you? I mean,
Well,
like,
you're not eating it for nutritional purposes. Think about it.
obviously, but I mean,
dumbass.
just like, how? I don't want fucking chocolate anywhere near like 3 hours after I wake up.
See, I understand that. Like the people who do like the
Pancakes?
pancakes with like chocolate and like whipped cream on them, I'm like, I
Fucking
can't do that.
Go play in traffic. Like, I hate those people.
Right.
Not as bad though as my ex-girlfriend's mom who used to put
Oh my God.
who used to put corn in pancakes.
Corn?
What?
Which
Just like
yes,
Like corn?
Like kernels of corn.
Corn.
Like I'm gonna open a can of corn
Yeah.
to put in our pancakes.
like I'm gonna take a bag of frozen corn out of the freezer.
Like a lot of corn, or just like interspersed.
no,
randomly?
like a lot of corn.
you didn't know then that it was time to break up with her?
No, I mean,
Because she comes from those genes. You should have had an inkling.
I mean, her mom was super fat, so I guess that should have been.
Well, if she ate corn pancakes,
I mean, but you would think like, okay, well, that's like pancakes made of corn. Like, no, it's still regular pancake batter, but with
just
corn.
instead of like chocolate chip pancakes,
Yes,
it's corn pancakes.
Yes.
Someone at some point said to her, "Hey, have you ever had corn cakes?" And she said, "I'll try it." And that's what she thought it was.
I mean, literally, it was like, do you want pancakes? And they didn't mention anything about corn until it was sat in front of me.
Well, I mean, why
And now-
would they?
Now
And
you're
I mean-
stuck eating it.
And yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Now you can't turn it down because, of course, like her mom would get offended at that,
it doesn't
at
matter.
that kind of shit.
That's like the final straw. That's when you stand up. You're like, look, it's a long time coming, but I can't deal with this. We're done.
Is it worth an act of violence at that point?
It might have been just burned the entire house down.
I mean, because no, what I thought about doing was, have you ever seen? There's this old gangster movie where I think it's Jimmy Cagney takes a piece of grapefruit and mushes it into this woman's face.
Oh my God.
And it's no joke. Like you really it's not a fucking done for stage or something. Like he really mushes this fucking grapefruit into this woman's face.
Well, it's an act of violence. I don't know, but you were totally okay with like throwing those like frisbees at her mom. That should have been fine.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, I really felt like taking the stack of pancakes and just mushing it into her mom's face as the entire family looked at me horrified.
So, what was the first words out of your mouth when they were set in front of you?
Dude, I do not remember.
You wouldn't have had any words. I wouldn't know what to say.
I literally do not fucking remember. It was like I'm pretty sure that to be able to uncover that, I'd have to go and receive hypnotherapy or.
I bet I know. I can relate this to everyone because I think we're all at this age now. We're like when your middle-aged friends let you know that they're pregnant and you're not sure if you're supposed to congratulate them or be sorry for them, right? Because you're kind of at that point because you don't want kids. And I feel like that's what it'd be. They set them down.
I don't even bother hiding my contempt for when someone tells me that they're having children. There's no. Why would you? Why would you?
Well, because some people.
It's a bad life choice. It's a really just in general bad.
Sitting right here,
bad
bro.
life. I'm making eye contact with you.
Whatever, you bitch.
It's. I mean, between race riots happening here at home,
Nazi flags on the ground,
yeah, and
nuclear war impending,
and war with North Korea on the horizon. This just seems
good points.
This
Why
seems
do you
like
even bother living?
Why do any of us? I don't think that we're going to for much longer.
If we express concern about a nuclear war, you think we can get them to release Star Wars early?
No, probably not.
Anyway, speaking about corn and things that are delicious,
how are we back on corn?
I recently went to Sonic and bought a corn dog. Went back to work, put it into a pizza stromboli, and it was the most delicious thing ever.
Jesus.
You are going to die at 35.
We cooked it, obviously.
He went. Hold on. I took him out to lunch yesterday, and this is what he ordered. He goes, "Can I get a plain hot dog with cheese on it? A cheese dog?" That's all he got. It was a hot dog drenched in like nacho cheese.
To be fair, I didn't want that much cheese. That was going to get everywhere, and I could tell. But also mustard. We had the mustard at the table, though. So it was fine.
I see. Let me ask you, because you strike me as the kind of guy who would have done this. Have you ever gone to McDonald's and gotten fries?
Yes.
Hold up.
No, I already know what you're going to say. Yes, I take the fries, put it on the McDouble, and then I take the McDouble and put that on the McChicken, and then I take the nuggets and put that on top of everything, and I have a McAwesome.
I appreciate what you just confessed to. However, I was going to ask if you ever gone to McDonald's, gotten fries, gone to Wendy's and got a Frosty, and gone to like Burger King and gotten a burger. That made a great meal.
That just takes way too long. And ew, Burger King for burgers?
I agree. I was an example.
But no, we only... I've probably done that.
Can we start a betting pool on when he's going to have a heart attack and die?
I'm going to say, I mean, honestly, when he shows up every week, I'm surprised.
I don't think he's going to make it to 2020.
I don't think any of us are making it to 2020.
That's fair.
So...
Yeah.
Why would you do that to yourself, by the way? That's just
Which part?
I mean...
You got to be more specific.
The McAwesome.
Oh, the McAwesome? Because that tastes great.
By the way, I'm trying that when I leave today.
Oh, dude, it's
Why?
so good. It's kind of expensive. Get the hot mustard, though.
Stop being so fat.
That
Jesus.
brings it all together.
I am going to get the
McAwesome,
and I'm going to eat it on stream.
Chris, I have a question for you. How does it make you feel that he has the same eating habits as you, but you have like 200 pounds on him?
It means I can beat him up.
Kind of slow.
Most likely. Well, yeah. I mean,
but you're in two entirely different weight classes. You would never even be able to fight each other
in a sanctioned bout
with regulations.
Yeah,
this is WWE. We're doing the no holds barred kendo stick on a pole match.
Of course, you would want a pole match.
Well, it's my only chance. Let's be honest here.
I thought it's something like pole dancing.
So wait, now it's
I thought that was a dick joke. Sorry.
It's a Big Mac.
My mistake. My mistake.
No.
I'm sorry.
Can we get back to the news? You guys
double McChicken, fries, and the nuggets, and with the nuggets you get the hot mustard.
All right, I'm substituting in a quarter pounder for a McDouble because McDoubles are gross. That it's not a good burger. I'm sorry.
What?
They use like their cheapest burger for that, and it shows.
Yeah, but you get two of them.
Guys,
what?
It's gaming show here.
All right, okay.
Actually, it's pop culture, and McDonald's is
can I
the
mute him?
primo of pulp or pop.
Yeah.
All right.
We can. Yeah. We absolutely can.
While there's been a lot of excitement for the upcoming Middle-earth Shadows of Mordor, they look to be embarking on one of the cardinal sins of game development: the pay-to-win microtransaction. Microtransactions are already a big ask on a game with a $60 price point, but when you start putting non-cosmetic stuff in them, people get mad, and appropriately, there's a pretty sizable backlash over this.
This is a really, really bad idea.
When I first saw this, I thought it was because there's going to be like a big sort of PvP aspect, and I don't know if there is or isn't PvP in this particular franchise, but the fact that they're straight up like, hey, look, if you want to be able to skip the game a little bit quicker, you can buy levels. What?
Yeah, it's one of those things. It's not World of Tanks level where the best stuff is only purchasable. It's not that level of awful. It's the is it For Honor was it that did the it takes forever.
Yeah.
You want to get through it faster? Do this.
Right.
It's that approach.
Like, why would anyone spend money to beat a single player game quicker?
That's a really good question.
That absolutely baffles my mind.
If you don't, you have to grind forever on these low-level goblins to get to the next area because you're not high enough level.
But that's
not shitty.
Yeah, no, but I mean, I understand that that's the trade-off, but the balance has got to be reasonable.
Who's this by?
Oh God, Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor is
that a Ubisoft?
Oh, I don't think it's Ubisoft.
I bet the chat's gonna answer us.
Yeah, they'll hook us up with this one.
But ridiculous.
It is. It's awful.
EA?
That I would absolutely believe.
Monolith.
Developers
at Monolith.
That sounds right. Ask anyone that ever played Deus Ex: Human Revolution. Yeah,
Warner Brothers is publishing it. That makes okay. Yeah, Monolith is developing it. Publishing is Warner Brothers.
I would absolutely believe this is a Warner Brothers call.
I still want to feel the hype for this game because everything that we've seen looks great, and obviously, I don't have to pay for the microtransactions, right? I can just play the game as the game. But just the fact that they're doing this, I kind of want to just draw the line in the sand and be like, no. I am not supporting that.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's a shitty practice, and I don't want to give my $60 to it.
Like the thing is, though, is that like I feel like microtransactions have been around for longer than a decade now.
Yeah.
And I feel like can anyone name an instance where pay to win has actually like done well or not hurt the reputation of a game? You know,
Pay to win? No.
Yeah.
That has never gone over well.
Well,
I mean, even in a single player setting, like
the biggest question is how much does pay to win line your pockets?
Well,
and I guess that's the question that I'm driving at, is that does the money that you get from putting pay to win in outweigh the sales that you lose and the sentiment that you lose when you enact a practice like that? I mean,
I would love to see those numbers.
Can anyone like reasonably name a game where that trade-off wasn't completely detrimental to it in the end?
One, World of Tanks. That game makes a fucking fortune.
Okay.
Was it?
That's what I guess a lot of the freemium mobile games, they make it work.
Right.
But they don't have a base price point.
Right. They're free to play.
Right. I'm talking AAA developed games. I'm talking
No, that is never
I'm talking, big games on, all the major platforms, from PlayStation to PC.
I feel like there's two lines of thinking here, because obviously you have your single player and you have your multiplayer games. I feel like it kills multiplayer games, as is evidenced by For Honor, because just to get into it, you now have a certain asking price that you need to pay just to help close that skill gap between the people who've been playing longer than you. Now, you could argue by, putting it into single-player games, if you want to pay for it, you can. But if you don't, just don't do it. But I've seen the sentiment around social media, and there are people that are straight up denying, like they're like, I was hyped for this game, and now I'm not going to buy it on principle. I realize that I don't have to buy the microtransactions, but just on principle, this is a shitty practice, and I'm not buying your game now.
Lalux in the chat saying Black Desert Online. I'm not sure that Black Desert Online has been out long enough in the West to be able to know whether that's in the long term successful or not, because Archage tried to do a lot of the same things, and ultimately to the game's detriment and to its demise. Well, I don't know if is Archage even still around. I don't even know anymore. Like I don't know a single person that plays it.
I don't know a single person that ever played it.
Well, isn't that kind of your answer then? There.
I mean, I know a lot of people who checked it out when it came out, but not
and checked out after it came out.
Red X0 in the chat saying Call of Duty, but I mean,
you pay to win in Call of Duty?
No, the microtrans. I mean,
you get like weapon packs and shit.
But that's for the online. That's for the multiplayer.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean just single player?
That's mostly what I'm talking about here. Like single player. I mean, to Xeater's point, saying sorry, but paying to circumvent a grind is really shitty. Not by definition, not pay to win. Which I mean, I guess
if you're paying money to get to the end of the game quicker, you are paying to win the game.
It's kind of like when you bought a game, Genie, and used it to get to the end of the game.
Hang on. No.
Circumventing long grinds, that's super subjective to what's considered a long grind.
I will agree with you, Robbie, that it is absolutely subjective, because I think that there are clear instances to look at the amount of grinding that you have to do in a game to get to your next level or checkpoint or whatever it is, that is artificially inflated, right? Like you can tell that the developer is just adding a super heavy grind to try to encourage you to pay through it. That I think is shitty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think in a game where, it's kind of, like the experience unfolds in front of you and you've got a very kind of like, path towards progression. It's not terribly grind heavy where you feel like you're having to spend hours outside of the main campaign to be able to get to the next part of the campaign. I feel like that is a different case, and that it's pretty clear when you're playing through a game when you're presented with those two different scenarios. And I do think that Xeater's got a point that in cases where the developer is going the extra distance to make that grind feel painful to get to the next point of progression, I understand that. Like, I understand being able to pay through that. I do, and I also understand his point. By the strictest definition, it doesn't classify as pay to win.
So but I think suppose the jump potion in FF14 falls under this category, and that's not paying to win.
But I think in terms of sentiment, when it comes to how people view things like buying levels and pay to win, that those two scenarios are a lot more linked in people's minds than they may be by the strictest definition.
Not to mention in MMOs, everyone's definition of winning is different in an MMO. What is paying to win for someone? Like, some people might just want level 60 and then they're good.
Isn't in cases like the Shadows of Mordor, War of Mordor, whatever it is, in single player RPGs, usually you have, at the beginning you have your different types of modes, easy, normal, hard, veteran. That usually dictates how much you have to grind. Well, at this point, why don't you just play in an easier mode if you don't want? If you feel you have to grind to beat the next challenge.
Again, but that's dictated by the developer, not by the player. Like, if you can, as a developer, set an easy mode and still have a ridiculous grind where you're having to kill fucking level 2 orcs for a bajillion hours to be able to get to the next, interesting boss that you're supposed to kill. So, I mean, I do understand the point of the comment. I do still think that this is shitty and means that, like, Monolith kind of developed a really shitty, unbalanced game, if that's the case.
And so if it comes out and there isn't a lot of grind-heavy stuff, I mean, what is at that point? They're just really big pricks at that point?
I mean, then what's the point in buying it? Like, there's no value to the item. If you can just play through it at a normal pace, it's going to be the same argument that you see on the jump potion. 99% of people are going to take the normal option and not pay the extra money if they feel like they don't have to, or they're enjoying themselves enough to not care. So if you're getting 10% of your audience and 10% of whatever they're charging for this bullshit is, it's not nothing. You know what I mean? Like, having the option there, they're still able to rake in the money.
Unless, as you said, there are people who were going to buy it, but because of this, they decide they're not going to, but there's not really any way to measure that part.
Well, yeah, because that's the trade-off is the sentiment, right? Like, the knock that your game gets in the public eye, or, how people feel about it, is that going to be worth what you make in the microtransactions? And I don't know if it is in this case.
I don't think so.
I can't think of an example where that has been really successful.
Mm-hmm.
So a cool bit of news this week, as Netflix has made an acquisition of Millar World. Some of the franchises included in that universe would be Kick-Ass, Wanted, and Kingsman. It's going to be neat.
They had to do something since they lost Disney.
Well,
although apparently they're also making a play to keep Marvel-related and Star Wars-related stuff.
I mean...
So all the good stuff?
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like they're probably not going to... I mean,
Why would Disney do that?
it's going to be... Like, especially... I mean, spoilers for our next story, but...
Yeah, right.
Especially because they're going to be launching their own streaming platform. Like, why would they do that to themselves?
On that note, so Disney has made a major investment, upping their control of BAMTech to a 75% majority hold. BAMTech is the stream provider for Major League Baseball, as well as the NHL and many other sports, including League of Legends. With the streaming platform available, they've announced 2 new stream services, an ESPN service set to debut in 2018, and a Disney stream in 2019.
2019? That's so far away.
Yeah, but I mean, it's Disney, though, so whatever they do makes money.
Yeah, when they release it, it will sell like crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Disney's not stupid. Like, and they're one of the first, major media organizations getting under esports in a big way. So, I mean, they're definitely forward thinking. And I've bagged on Disney for a long time, but it's hard to deny what kind of cultural impact it has. When movies like Frozen and, the Marvel franchise and everything that they're
Star Wars.
Yeah, everything that they're doing with Star Wars is doing so well.
Literally everything they touch turns to gold.
I mean, yeah, like they are doing very, very well right now. And I mean, two new streaming platforms is a pretty big deal. They have, the backlog of media to be able to pull that off. They've also got the networking ability to be able to, broker the contracts. I can see it being a pretty good and convincing streaming platform. And Netflix,
I would want it.
I don't know if anyone is anyone else like kind of like frustrated with Netflix right now. Like for their own content, they're awesome. You know what I mean? Like they're making great shit, and that's probably worth the subscription to Netflix alone. But everything outside of that is dwindling fast.
I've found myself like I keep trying things on Netflix, like find something that sounds okay, but then after an episode or two, if it wasn't a Netflix original, I just end up turning it off.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and they're going to get to that point too, because you get everything all at once where people are going to come on for a month. Oh, Stranger Things new season is out. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Watch it all.
I mean, looking at all the stuff that I'm excited for, you're right. Once it comes, I'm going to consume that in a day, and then I'm back to just being like,
Yeah, it was like House of Cards new season came out. I binged it in a day, and now I got a year to wait.
Right. But I mean,
a year and a half in some cases,
dude,
2 years.
I used to use Netflix as my only source of entertainment. Like there was a point where I felt like it would take me 10 years to watch every movie on this platform. But now I scroll through it and I'm like, I've seen all of this shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the churn of titles that goes in and out every month is starting to shrink. The amount of TV shows that they offer is starting to shrink. Dude, when I used to be able to, watch Futurama and Bob's Burgers and, like
the horse show,
9 fucking seasons of Family Guy, BoJack Horseman's an original, so it's always on there. You know what I mean? Like that, I fucking loved Netflix. I was on it all the time.
Yeah, my first time with Netflix, it was like Star Trek and then that 70s show Scrubs.
Yeah.
Like there was a lot of good stuff to watch through on there.
And, speaking of streaming platforms, like I'm really frustrated with Hulu right now because I did that whole like sign on for HBO content through Hulu thing because
got burned.
Here, dude, okay, so explain to me why this is a thing. Fucking, if you have Comcast service and you own a Sony device, you can't use HBO Go as an app. Right? Like it asks you to select your cable provider and it doesn't even bring up Comcast Xfinity. And when you go, why don't I see my cable provider? It's like, oh, well, HBO Go isn't available in your area. And it's like, wait, why is that a thing? Why is that a fucking thing?
Because money.
So Comcast paid for exclusive rights to HBO in our area? That's what that means?
I think on their network. Because it's specifically only on Sony devices. Because on my Xbox 360, I could use HBO Go just fine.
So,
yep, let that sink in for a hot second.
What are your options? Okay. You can Chromecast it off your phone, maybe?
No, okay, so now we get to Hulu, right? Like, that's why I don't just use the HBO Go app. Because everything I own is Sony at this point.
Sure.
And I don't know if my Xbox 360 is a brick, but I haven't used it in long enough where it could be a brick.
Fair enough.
Right? So everything I own is Sony. And when I signed up for HBO on Hulu, it's not available on Sony devices. It's not even available. If you go to Hulu.com through your fucking browser, you can't even watch HBO shows. You have to use Android, iTunes, Apple, basically, Chromecast, or Roku.
How much?
Grab a Chromecast. It's $35.
How much? Wait, hold on. How much do you pay for that?
I do want. I think it's like $12.99 a month.
I'm paying. Actually, $12.99 just to watch Game of Thrones through Amazon for the month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Amazon, if I'm not mistaken, or at least the last time I did the Amazon Prime thing where I scammed them out of 60 days.
You shouldn't even need Prime. It's just like an HBO subscription through Amazon.
I think you need Prime, dude.
I don't have Prime, and I'm doing it.
Because they tried to charge me for a year of Prime, and I was like, nah,
Nope.
I'm not spending like $200 on this shit.
I've watched the past 3 episodes off of Amazon, and I definitely do not have Prime.
Interesting. Anyway, so yeah, that's super fucking frustrating, and I don't understand why I can't just go there in a fucking browser and watch it.
It's like Sony and Comcast have some weird rivalry. Like, we're just not going to work together.
It says like browser service coming soon, and I'm like, you assholes, we're like halfway through the fucking season.
Yeah, grab a Chromecast, man. It'll change your life. It's great.
I don't want to. Like,
I don't want to change my life. I like it the way it is.
But do you know how I have so much fucking technology it just seems like I shouldn't have to fucking do that. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I shouldn't have with how much fucking money I've spent on.
Let's complain about it.
Fucking video game systems or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it feels like
live in the now.
Like I should not have to fucking do this.
The real kick in the balls is I bet on the Switch you can watch it.
No, you can't even.
I don't think
fucking
so.
Netflix is not even a fucking thing on the Switch.
Look, if you have Switch, you don't have to worry about any of this because nothing
works. Yeah.
You just know you'll never be disappointed. Nintendo, speak of the devil, Nintendo has officially announced the Nintendo World Championships for 2017, marking the 3rd installment of the event. The event is quintessential Nintendo, right down to the awkward qualifiers and garbage prizes. For a more in-depth discussion on this, make sure to check out Checkpoint Radio this week. Although we do want to hear a little bit from
Nintendo
fanboy
over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris,
what do you think?
How excited are you?
Another victory for America.
You gonna
for
go
the
and
Nintendo
qualify?
World Championships?
Yeah, sure. I'll just go down there, bring my Switch, play some Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and
No, Mario Kart 7.
No, Mario Kart 7, motherfucker, and you're going down to Best Buy.
What's the closest one?
Chicago.
Accepted.
Oh, to Chicago?
Yeah, Best Buy in Chicago is our closest.
Well, at least if I can go there and play Mario Kart 7 on my 3DS, I assume, I can just go down there and, pick whatever course I want, pick whatever character.
No. You're 13 episodes. You have to play on Bowser's Castle. And I believe
Okay, well, it's not the worst course, so...
You have to play as Luigi with a standard cart. It has to be equal for the time trials, says Nintendo.
It is equal. You're playing on the same course, you fucking morons. God.
Imagine that.
I think we should send them to Chicago.
No, I'm not going to go. If I didn't go to fucking Pokemon Go Fest, I'm not going to go for shitty Nintendo World Championships 2017.
But then you could win a trip to New York.
And a trophy.
But here's the difference is that he would have actually enjoyed going to Pokemon Go Festival. That's why I think we should send him to the Nintendo World Championship qualifiers. Is because he would hate it. And he would complain the entire time. And I just think it would be really fun.
I want to see Chris in a Best Buy with like 40 kids and their moms, and he's like the only adult there competing. And then he wins because he's the only adult there competing.
You know damn well he's not going to be the only adult competing.
Yeah.
In
Callie.
Chicago.
No. There's going to
Fuck's sake.
There's going to be every version of like Chris. Like you're going to see like bald versions of him, the neckbeard version. You're going to see like comic book guy from The Simpsons, but
Bro,
it's Chris.
Chris circa 2006, Chris
Yep.
circa 2009.
There is
Chris in a fedora.
There's a really good chance that that there will be more adults than kids
Oh yes.
being
Good chance. 100% is good.
That's pretty solid.
That's good by your definition. Okay.
I'm giving it a 99% chance to 1.
Wow, you're really, really generous.
Hey, Chicago might show up. They might still have some kids left alive.
How many kids are going to care about the Nintendo World Championships 2017?
I like that the qualifiers are better than the prize you win for winning the Nintendo World Championship.
What, just the trip itself?
The trip. You get a trip to and a $400 gift card.
Yeah.
If you win, you get a trophy. And that's it. That's all that's announced. If you take second, you get a medal.
Retail value of that trophy is $2,700,
Correct.
but good luck getting $2,700 out of that trophy.
Oh, please. If it's anything like Nintendo's gold cartridges, they'll just shoot up in value eventually.
Oh my, yeah, I hope we see this on eBay in like 10 years and Final Encounter Cast on episode like 900 or some shit. And we're just like, I can't believe this fucking shit sold. What? Oh no. will be rich, then we can buy it.
I was gonna say it's probably Chris who bought it.
Why would I buy that?
So you can
exactly.
complete the
Why would
longest con.
anyone?
I promise.
I just wanted to use a Twin
You promised what?
I just wanted to use a Twin Peaks drop without Nate in the room.
While he was gone?
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Idiot.
So a few months ago, we told you about the upcoming Twitch desktop app meant to go toe-to-toe with apps like Discord. Well, the time is now, as the Twitch desktop app has officially gone live. Voice and video calling servers and a dark mode for late-night streaming are just some of the features listed along with the app.
What does this app do exactly?
It's voice and video calling.
Yep.
From
so it's like Skype.
Yeah, between
I guess
Twitch
this-
accounts.
okay.
Right? Like they said when they were showing it off, and I can't remember which event that they were showing it off for, but they had said that they want it to be able to facilitate shows like this.
Right.
And so
we're going to do our show on cell phones now?
Cell phones? No, that's a desktop app. Dipshit.
It's a desktop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear the
it's
word
like-
app and I just ignore
The
everything
idea
else.
of
Like
it is-
Skype meets Discord.
Yeah, Skype meets Discord with Twitch integration, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot that app means program now.
Application.
It's always meant program.
Yeah.
Program.
Anyway.
I forget. I'm old.
I mean, I definitely think that we'll look into this to possibly use instead of maybe Zoom. I'm gonna go ahead and give Twitch a little bit of advice though, because I think that while this is cool, that there's something that I would have really appreciated from either Zoom or Discord if it had video support, or Skype, and that would be it would be really cool if Twitch worked with OBS.
Yes, we talked a little bit about that when this was announced.
And did direct a direct video output API.
If we could stop using OBS and stream through this app.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, not stream through the app. No. What I would want is the way that the Twitch app could interact with OBS to send a direct video feed instead of having to do a screen capture of a program that's up, so that you could do things like use the software without impacting the video output that's being sent to OBS. Right.
Okay.
Because that's what this sort of like broadcaster version of Skype does to more complex camera and production systems, and the name escapes me of the specific system that I'm thinking of, but it interacts directly, and so you can use the software and not have to worry about the video output changing. It has a static video output that loads in as a not maybe a capture device, but like a scene that works through the API.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I think that would be really, really beneficial. And it would help. What it would help specifically with is people who try to run shows like this over a program like Skype that don't have the mixer in front of them and need to be able to do things like adjust volumes on the fly,
right?
Or mute somebody, or why
would you ever need to mute somebody?
Try to adjust somebody's video settings. Like all of those things, kind of need to be done in the background. And when you can see everything from the mouse moving on that screen to any changes
something that pops up in front of
exactly. It's super distracting.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've really wanted from either Skype or Zoom for a long time. That's never happened. But Twitch being Twitch and knowing how critical software like OBS is, I think that they would be the most likely to do something like that. So I'm hopeful for what we could see in terms of integration out of the Twitch app in the future.
One thing I noticed when I was watching people play Hearthstone the other day is somehow, I don't know if this is related to the desktop app or not, but one of the streamers, I could actually hover over his cards and a card will pop up on my stream showing me what that card did.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know if that's through Twitch or that's an API thing or what, but I was super impressed by that.
That would be.
I've never
awesome.
heard of that. That's crazy.
I don't know if it's something I downloaded along the way or if it's just natively something you can integrate into
Like
Twitch.
you're talking like somebody was live streaming and they had tool tips on the cards that they had in their hand.
I could hover over whoever I was watching. I could see his hand because you could normally see their hand.
Right.
But I could hover over a card in his hand and a card would pop up
and get
on
tool
my
tips
screen.
on it.
Yes.
Wow.
That has to be through the app, right?
I have
I
no
don't have
idea.
the app.
That's something you could build into OBS. Like he has to. That has to be something.
No. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way to make it interactive on the app.
That has to be through Twitch.
Yeah. That's crazy though. It was on Twitch. You said, right?
I'm positive it was on Twitch. It was like a little thing that popped up. It's like Hearthstone Interactive something or other or something like that. And I could click on that and it brought me to a thing that's like, oh, this is a new thing that you can do on Twitch. I'm like, that's so cool.
That could be something maybe provided by Blizzard.
Yes, it was Blizzard and Twitch integration.
That's right, because Twitch has a whole partnership going on with Blizzard now for most of their games, Overwatch and all of them included.
Interesting.
So as Twitch appears to be making a move on Discord, Discord looks to be doing the same to Skype. This week, official testing of new features began on Discord, including video calling and screen sharing.
Well.
Yeah.
Well.
It looks like maybe switching over to the Twitch app isn't a foregone conclusion. We have some shopping to do. Comparative analysis, even.
Well, currently this is only in a very limited test run, as bandwidth is expensive, and this requires a lot of it.
Yeah.
So it'll be a while before we see this yet, but they are beginning to test those features.
Yeah.
The owner of a Santa Clara arcade machine company and her associates have been charged with felony counterfeiting after selling consoles containing pirated version of games such as Galaga, Tank Battalion, and at least 5 different iterations of Pac-Man. If convicted, they face up to 11 years in prison.
Wow.
Yeah, they've been selling like consoles with like 60 to 100 counterfeit games in them.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, if they're not licensed, you can't do that.
You're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But you can make...
You
can make the cabinets and like all like the emulators and stuff and sell that.
I have to
if you're licensed to.
Yeah, right. Like you still got to pay for the games.
I know. Don't include the games.
You're just the cabinet?
Yeah, just here's the cabinet and here's the emulator and stuff, and go find the game somewhere else. Oop, here's a piece of paper that slipped in there.
That you actually probably could get away with, but
yeah, I don't know. Here's the thing.
Pay for the location of where the games are.
I hope that it's one of those companies that would, take like a joystick, right, and program 60 fucking games into
one of those,
with a component out, right? Like not even an HDMI out, but a component out for anyone who still has those types of TVs, i.e. no one.
Those weird penis-shaped controllers. I remember those fucking things.
Yeah, I mean, well,
Wait,
I don't.
what?
Wait,
did you see
penis shape,
dude? It always looks like there's like a dude sitting on top of it, like it's like a Spider-Man themed one, and it always looks like it has a big giant spider-shaped dick coming out of it. It's weird.
What games are you
talking about?
There's like 34,000 games in one cartridge things that they used to sell.
Okay,
maybe
first of all,
it's
this kind
because
of explains a lot about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's because that's not one of the selling points of buying one of those, right? Like we're
Callie's like, ooh, penis shape.
Yeah, we're not really looking at our game controllers and figuring out how they can be shoved up our asses. Like
He's making a gay Terminator.
It doesn't come up often, but when it does,
Good drop.
that is, I
my
believe,
God.
only the second time that drop has been used, and it's been excellent on both occasions.
it's very situational, but when it works, damn does it ever.
Damn, does it ever. Oh, where were we? All right, cyanide and
We were shoving up controllers up our ass.
Oh, that's right.
No, before that.
Oh.
Cyanide and
You gotta make sure that it's properly contoured enough to be able to hit that G spot. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a little bit of bending up near the end.
That's right. Yeah. You gotta hit that prostate.
Oh, all right, I'm done with this. No more. I'm done. Cyanide.
I like the ball one, so it gets stuck up there, and you have to kind of pull to get it out.
Why?
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 So that way you don't have to clench to keep it in there. It just stays. And then
He actually, I mean,
then you can try to like play using your ass.
God damn it. Why do you actually know this? Like, why is it that you know why?
We're not skipping over, then you can try to play using your ass, are we?
People tried that with the Switch.
No,
didn't have enough haptic feedback.
I want to see the Dark Souls completion went that way.
You know, that would be really impressive to have that much, control over your colon muscles.
I want to see the rigging required to make that happen.
What do you mean rigging? It's just shoving it up your ass and then you go.
I honestly, once it's up there, like, really, it just seems like a series of movements like this that you have to do to be able to, like, I gotta dodge roll.
Busting out those old Dance Dance Revolution skills.
There you go.
That'll work.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
You know what it is? It's a series of Kegel exercises that you have to do. You're welcome for that.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Can we move on, maybe?
No.
No, we want to keep going?
Yeah,
you got one more?
I mean, not really.
Okay, thank heaven. Cyanide and
Just
happiness.
watch out for the anal leakage. Well, you don't want to get out of the controller. It'll short out.
What do you mean you don't want it to get out of control? How are you going to stop it?
Is there anyone left who has never watched this show before? Like, I feel like all of the first timers, there was a few of them when this show started, and now they're just
gone.
silent.
Well, right here in the chat, Red XO, it went dark. West 2K, it's always dark.
It's darker than black.
Vanta Black.
I hate that Darker Than Black. That's the anime that I can never fucking think of that I hated. I
don't know that anime.
Hated, fucking hated it.
Darker Than Black?
Dark. I think that's what it is. I think it's called Darker Than Black. It was fucking terrible. Anyone who recommends that shit is dumb.
You should punch him in the face.
No, I'm saying that was one that, like,
shove a controller up their ass.
That was one that, like, I had taken recommendations on.
Oh, Skirl loves it, so it's gotta be bad. Okay,
he does.
wow.
I took recommendations on it and regretted it later. So there you go.
Cyanide and Happiness, the popular comic and cartoon show, is creating a video game now. The game looks to be an adventure title and will be starting off with a Kickstarter push on September the 5th.
Does this ever work? Like,
it's either going to be like
Penny Arcade.
I was gonna say Penny Arcade.
Penny Arcade did one, but I don't remember it being like.
Well, it was kind of bad.
They actually they did a few. I think they did 3 or 4 parts. I played
the Principle of Chronicles
on the Precipice of Darkness, or on the Precipice of Darkness.
That's what I said.
I played the first one. It was
so
okay.
dumb at talking.
You could
I
tell.
can't believe you're talking still.
You could tell.
Interrupting Cows's move. There you go. It's mute.
You could tell that it was like, an on the cheaper sort of game, right? But I mean, they also don't charge a whole lot for it. In fact, I think I got parts 2, 3, and 4 for free off of Steam anyway.
Yeah.
So
the only time this has worked, I think, and worked well was South Park.
Yeah,
they did it well.
Well, and because it's basically like you're playing through the show,
right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you are muted for a reason. The thing is that I've never like the 30-second to 45-second shorts of Cyanide and Happiness, the 3-panel comics.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever wanted from them.
Yeah,
they do that. They do that so fucking well.
Yes.
I don't need more from them. Like, they have longer form animation stuff.
They do, like the 5-minute videos of Cyanide and Happiness they do.
Not even half as good as their 30 to 45-second bits.
I agree with that. I mean, I love the longer ones too.
The longer ones are fine, but I cannot see myself sitting down and playing an entire fucking game of it. I feel like it would like just...
It'd be fun for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then wear real thin.
The game was only 30 seconds long.
Die.
Just
you know what? If it's only 30 seconds long and they tell you to like go kill yourself at the end, like, all right, you win.
He'll go kill himself.
You wonder why we mute you. Then if they did that, they would just be the Blue Whale game, right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's how they got kids into it.
Did I see that guy got caught? That the ringleader of the Blue Whale?
About that.
Yeah, I saw that as a headline the other day, but
good.
Didn't click on it because it was from Unilad, and I don't read shit from Unilad. Yeah.
Well,
Kid's no dick.
If he got caught, good. I hope he dies in prison.
From having a controller shoved up his ass.
Well, ideally.
Why would you have a controller in prison?
I mean,
they get like crappy video games in there, don't they? Don't they get like Atari?
They could. Yeah. Why not? You could. I mean, I think if you're gonna find any of those dick-shaped controllers left anywhere, that's where you would find them.
That's a great prison sentence. They have to play. You have to play through all 34,999 of these games, and to prove that you did it, you have to tell us exactly how many of them were Centipede. We know. Do you? Spoilers. It's more than 10,000 of them.
You would have to have somebody who knows that. Like, you would have to have somebody not in prison, like, to figure that out, though.
I assume they hired like a programmer to look at the game. I don't know. Tear it apart and find out. A Republican representative from California is facing ongoing legal issues stemming from a report last year that he'd used campaign funds to buy video games, among other things.
I remember this.
Yeah, you guys remember this guy. The investigation is now determining whether the charges, which he claimed were fraudulent and got refunded, actually were. Some of the charges include investigation... under investigation includes 78 Steam purchases, as well as an unspecified amount of charges to Blizzard.
Overwatch loot boxes.
They're going to get him on the Overwatch loot boxes. All they have to do is go to his main account. And I'm sorry, but if your main account has a bunch of skins unlocked, you done fucked up, boy.
This is not going to be good for him.
No, it's not.
I mean, because like he's gone through a few different stories. Like first it was like, I gave my kid the wrong credit card.
That's what I remember.
Then there was a bunch of them where it was like, oh yeah, those were fraudulent charges. And he did go get them, refunded and claiming they were fraudulent charges. Except now the credit card company is like, wait, 75 fraudulent charges to the same game at the same time?
Come on now.
Interesting.
Come on now.
So those are being investigated. I don't know how this ends well.
No.
I mean, and it should be pointed out, the video games are like the tip of the iceberg of what's being investigated. There's plenty of other things that he's being checked out for.
It's just the video games are probably the funniest thing.
And most important to us.
Well, yeah. Like I've tried this before one drunk night when I wanted to get a couple of raid passes refunded that I felt that did not go to use in Pokemon Go.
Oh boy.
Early on. And I figured out that's how I ended up with negative 460 coins, is that they refunded the $5 purchase. Like Google Play had refunded the $5 purchase.
And then Niantic was like, nah, fucker.
Yeah.
That money's ours.
So it was a wash. I had to buy the $5 back anyway. So, and I was like, you know what? That was fair.
That one's on me.
I was like, I was being a dick. Sure. Yeah, that one's fair. But
I enjoy that when you were trying to figure out why you were in the negative, that moment didn't come to mind.
Did you not just hear the story that I told you? I said I was drunk. That's how.
Drunk as shit.
Yes.
Specifically.
The
Drunk
age-old
on
excuse.
shit.
That's a few steps further than just being drunk.
Fair enough.
Really gross.
While players have been competing all weekend for their share of $24 million, by the way, congratulations go out to Team Liquid.
Yeah, I guess.
Valve also, yeah, I wanted, Virtus Pro. Valve also revealed the upcoming Dota card game called Artifact. Details are scarce, but we know the game is coming in 2018 and will have to compete with other games like Hearthstone, Gwent, Elder Scrolls Legends, and Fable Fortunes.
What we do know about it, what was said at the actual international, because I was watching when they announced it, is that you will control 5 heroes on 3 different boards. So it's basically your 3 lanes and your 5 heroes.
Right, you control your whole team.
So, that sounds fucking insane.
Literally, this sounds okay. No, this is actually the best thing ever.
No, shut the fuck up.
Okay,
Chris.
no, because card games are awesome for starters. But no, this is actually them trying to like do something different, not just make a fucking Hearthstone.
No,
clone.
you know what this fucking sounds like? This sounds like those douchebags who used to play 3-layered chess, right? Like, or like chess on multiple boards.
These
like,
guys are too smart for me.
You're gonna have to have.
I can't even play Final Fantasy Tactics.
You're gonna have to have the equivalent of the Armored Core fucking joystick controller to be able to fucking 3-panel thing to be able to fucking control your decks. Well, that seems stupid and insane.
That sounds so awesome. I'm so excited for this.
You're gonna play this.
Yeah, this is that first game.
You don't play Dota.
Huh?
You don't play Dota. Why would you give a shit about
you
this?
You hate MOBAs.
Why would you give any amount of shit about this?
Because this is actually a card game. It's cool. And I have to hate Dota.
Hold on.
Because of other reasons.
Chris, the thing I will give you about that is, yes, at least it isn't a Hearthstone clone. It's something a little different.
So, are you going to try Gearbox's first-person shooter card game?
I'll check it out.
Oh my god!
But I mean, it's a first-person shooter. How good can it be?
It's a card game, though.
I know it's a card game.
Maybe you shoot the cards at people.
Or maybe you have to play cards to get ammo to shoot at people. And it's turn-based, so that way I can actually aim at people and kill them through my superior intellect.
Remember how good Metal Gear
card games.
Remember how good Metal Gear Acid was?
No, because you're the only one who played that.
Exactly. No. Nobody remembers how good it was because it wasn't.
Even if it was good, you think Chris would have had any knowledge of it?
No.
Okay, then.
What's
I mean, you guys owned a PSP in an era that I didn't. So what? Wait, Chris, did you not own a PSP? Really?
And I only owned it because an LB Army fan sent it to me.
Jesus.
I thought it was the three of you guys that were playing.
No, that
Chris
was
and
me, Matt, and Frank.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Frank.
I actually don't like Monster Hunter.
I lived with Frank for a year.
And you forgot about it.
I forgot about him. I'm sorry, Frank.
Well, yeah, Dadoy.
Avid listener of the show, Frank.
He might.
He actually, you know what? He actually might listen to one, if not multiple, of our shows.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a nice
All right, well,
guy.
Frank,
He
if
is,
you're
he
still
really is.
listening, fuck you.
Wow.
It's actually just to see if he's
That was
listening.
so unnecessary.
Well, now we'll know if he's listening, because now he'd be like offended and want to like call in and call me out.
If he listens to the show, he probably won't be offended.
By the way, if you want to call the show, Final Encountercast on Skype, 810-207-1764.
Hollywood has had a rough summer. In fact, this summer is on track to be the worst in a decade at the box office. Critically speaking, the movies this summer have fared exceptionally well, but it hasn't translated into ticket sales. Even with major successes like Spider-Man and Wonder Woman, Hollywood is on pace to see a 15% decrease from last summer.
I mean,
Clearly, what Hollywood needs is more shitty movies that retards like Ascalio will pick
Well,
up.
hold on. Does that say necessarily more about this year, or was last year just a really good year?
what came
This
out?
is the lowest. It's on pace to be the lowest in a decade.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like what? Yeah, I
Well,
was going
maybe
to say
we just had
what came out last year that was terribly fucking
Maybe we just had
compelling.
a really good decade.
Rogue One was technically no wait.
This is summer.
It probably fell in this fiscal year. Oh,
This
jeez.
is summer only.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what was the major superhero movie? Was Civil War? That was May.
Right.
No, Ant-Man would have been before that.
No,
so.
it was
What
Civil
followed
War.
There was something in August. There was a big release in August.
Right. What followed Civil War then? Doctor Strange.
Strange was later in the year. It was the one before Doctor Strange.
I don't think there was one between
Wasn't
Civil
there?
War and Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
There wasn't.
I think this is the first year where we're getting like 4 of them.
Yeah. Batman vs Superman was also last summer.
Which was shitty.
Yeah.
It was shitty, but it still sold a ton. Well, it's like
did.
Suicide Squad in August, which was shitty, but sold a ton of tickets.
But I mean, like, I feel like a lot of movies, especially this year, have been really focused on the nostalgia factor. Like that seems to be what has been driving interest in movie franchises recently.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Exactly.
Oh, Ghostbusters was last summer.
But I mean, you do bring up a good point.
I found myself seeing more movies this summer, though.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it because you have a girlfriend
who's paying for it all? It could be.
Yeah,
that might be part of
That
it.
was only recently, before
but
you were
I
a
also-
complete loser.
But I also enjoyed the
Chris
movies
is really
that I
taking
saw.
umbrage with that idea.
It does not help though that Transformers bombed.
Yeah, which
As it
actually
should. Thank you
usually
very much.
I think. Well, at least in the I think the Chinese market usually does good, but even bombed over there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a rough year.
Yeah, well, I mean, it didn't help that they said that they had like 2 years of movies planned out.
20 titles
Or
worth.
20 titles?
20
Jesus
titles.
fucking Christ.
Yep.
That's
Get the fuck out of here.
that's ridiculous.
That's worse than Marvel.
But I mean, like,
and Marvel's good.
if you think about it, though, I think a lot of the more artistic visionaries, especially in a medium like TV and movies, have moved from movies to television, and quite effectively too. Like, you've got a lot more opportunities to take chances and do something a little bit offbeat and have it succeed, where movies, if you do that, you're not going to get a promo push. Like think of a movie like Valerian, right? Like
Another bomb.
Another bomb.
yeah.
But it's another movie that's based off of a successful franchise.
French graphic novel.
Yeah, right.
Which they chose not to release over here beforehand.
Yeah.
X-Men Apocalypse was also last summer. Ugh.
Ugh.
Gross.
X-Men it's still a lot of
That was
money though.
last summer.
Star Trek Beyond, yeah.
Star
But I
Trek
mean,
Beyond
like-
did a lot of money.
But again, like, what was the thing that got the most buzz out of X-Men in the last 5 years? It was Legion. Right? Like
Logan.
Logan. I don't hear anyone talking about Legion.
You know what?
Legion might have been the best thing to come out, but it wasn't the most talked
People
about.
are talking about how
that's
Legion
fair.
was done,
That's
but
fair.
not a lot of people are talking about it.
That's fair. And you know what? I have to be honest. I did finally see Logan. I saw it on the plane ride out to Seattle.
That's right.
And I was not that impressed. I'm gonna be honest
No?
with you.
Oh, I loved it.
I was not that impressed.
I still haven't
like
seen
the
it.
thing is though is I was expecting a much darker movie, but the action beats were straight out of any comic book movie or Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Well,
and I
except
expect
for the part where he started tearing that guy's face apart.
no,
The opening scene when he puts his claws through the guy's face.
He's right though. As
It's
far as the
normal.
action,
Yeah,
I
agree.
the
It
action
was-
wasn't dark.
It was it was choreographed like you would expect
Sure.
it to be. It was the moments in between that I think were surprising, but I think it was also I had spent I'd seen so much of the promotion that I think a lot of those beats were ruined for me.
Yeah, that could see because like for me, like the action beats weren't solid, but like that was the only X-Men movie I've ever seen where I didn't really care that much about the action. I was much more interested in the dynamic between Xavier and Logan.
Yes, and I did like kind of the little nods to sort of the overall franchise and the fact that they weren't explicit about telling you what had happened. There were little things that they did that I think were very good, but I mean I don't know what I was expecting. I mean I probably shouldn't have expected a Werner Herzog movie, like as an X-Men film.
That'd be an interesting choice on their part,
right? Like that would have been a really big deviation. But
I would have loved to see the group of 13-year-olds in the theater just like, what the fuck?
It was okay. It was like way more passable than any of the other X-Men movies.
I was like, is it the best X-Men movie to come out in the last decade?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
definitely give you that, but I don't know that it like ranks up there in my head as like a great movie.
Okay. That's fair.
It was good. It was good for X-Men. And just to go back to my point, Legion will forever stand out to me. That first season of Legion, because God knows where they take it after this. But
You're welcome.
That first season of Legion is probably some of the most creative TV that I've seen this year.
And you know what? Fuck you, Chris. I'm the one that got him to watch Legion. The only reason that you came and watched it every time that I did is because you just wanted to know what the fuck was happening, and I was there to make you watch it.
You're both wrong. It was Jenny that got me to watch Legion.
I'm sure that I told you first.
You may have told me first, but the one that actually got me to sit down and watch it was Jen.
Mm-hmm.
That's not surprising.
You know that's fucking true.
Well, I'm still taking more credit than Chris
Clamp
gets.
your gob, you fucking moron!
Yeah, that is true. You do get more credit than Chris.
I still take credit. I don't give a fuck what you say.
All right, for more of the latest video game news, head over to checkpointradio.com, and while you're there, subscribe to the Checkpoint Radio podcast.
Yeah, do that. All right, so something that I was thinking about the other day is that I feel like, despite the fact that I host a show about it, despite the fact that the bulk of my money is spent on it, that I am exposed to less games now than when I was growing up. I feel like I was much more open to checking out a video game when I was a kid. By the way, if you want to call in, chime in on anything that we've been talking about, as well as this topic, finally Countercast on Skype, 810-207-1764. We'd love to hear from you. Did you play more games, and not just, the time you spend playing video games, but I'm talking exposure to different titles.
Yeah, picking up a new game and trying it.
I can tell you what the problem is right here, because I've been very, very aware of this for probably the past 2 or 3 years. And I think the reason that we try out less titles now is because we've seen it all before, right? Like the amount of times that I will go to Steam and I'm like, all right, I know the type of game that I'm looking for. Like I want a RPG, or I want something with some type of
a tower defense,
some type of sim aspect to it, right? So you put those keywords into the search engine, but then as you're going through looking at the game, you look and you're like, no, I've played that before. I've played that one before. Roguelike, I've played that one before. So So I don't know. For me, it's like this weird sort of game that I know what I want, but everything that I look at, it's like, no, I've played that one before. I've dealt with that before. That's been played out. And it's like there's this perfect picture of some game in my head that doesn't actually exist, that nothing can ever actually live up to.
Cecil in the chat saying it's your money. Of course, you're more checked in. You're checked out of buying new games. You don't want to spend another $60 on a game. I think that's actually a valid point. So
yeah, not spending my mom's money on a new game. Yeah, you're right. That's definitely an element.
Okay, so is it the fact that like places where you can go and rent a game for a couple of days? Now, I mean, obviously there are things like GameFly out there, but that, because we've disrupted the ways that we consume movies and TV, and also because we can buy so many of these games digitally, that the willingness to try something new because there's a low cost investment isn't necessarily there. I mean, I think of how many games I buy on Steam during a Steam sale.
Yeah,
but I never check. I never.
Exactly.
Yeah, I never get around to playing.
Yeah, you look at something and you think, oh, that sounds cool because I like so and so. But then for me, when I sit down to play it, it's like, well, I've already played that in whatever the other game was.
It just doesn't hold your interest.
Yeah, and as far as it goes to where like, well, you don't want to spend the $60. Nowadays, it's a lot easier to look into if you're actually going to like a game through YouTube videos or what have you. That I think you can make a more informed purchase than we would have back in the day.
Well, and to that point, though, it's a lot easier to look in your Steam library and see a game that you bought for 16 cents during Cyber Monday and say, I only dropped 16 cents. I don't need to play that. But when you do drop $60 on a game, you're like, I'm playing this. I don't care what happens. Like, I dropped $60 on this.
Yeah.
Except I dropped $60 on Breath of the Wild, and that held my attention for like less time that I had my Raspberry Pi.
But that fucking happens though, dude. Like, I spent $60 on For Honor, and I played maybe 6 matches before I went, this is bullshit, and I don't know. I'm like, fucking, I regret that one.
That's because that was a bullshit game, though.
But that's the point. It's going to happen. You're going to get games that you hate, whether it's because you don't like them or it's because they're bullshit.
Right. Yeah. I'm not blaming the game. I'm sure that there are people who play For Honor that really, really enjoy it, or really got good at it, or was able to plug a lot of time into it. I just knew after a dozen or so matches, like, this is not exactly what I want.
Yeah.
And I felt burned by it. And I did check out of it, and I feel like I wasted that money. But, if I had been able to try it for like 5 days before plopping down the $60, that would have been worth like $10 to me.
We should open a Blockbuster.
No. Well, but I mean, like, you've got services on, say, Sony's end, like, what is it, PlayStation Now?
PlayStation Now,
where you can rent, and I think they're mostly PS3 titles right now, but you can kind of rent PS3 titles through that. But, like, I feel like if there was a service to let you try out games, and yes, through PlayStation Plus, you get a couple of free games a month, and there are demos, of course, that you can also use. But yeah, like the ability to sort of like
play a game for 30 minutes,
or an hour or 2 hours, and to have it not be some kind of truncated experience or specific demo experience, I think is really kind of important.
For me though, like I have trouble. Like, Overwatch was purchased for me. It was bought for me because I wasn't getting it, even though I love MOBAs, I love shooters. Like, I should. I should.
Is that a legitimate point that you just tried to make? Are you being facetious? Are you lying? Are you trolling? Did you just debate me?
Oh my God, Chris is so triggered right now.
He's actually twitching.
Holy shit.
I do love MOBAs and shooters.
Okay. Why does MOBA have anything to do with Overwatch?
Class-based.
Why does it?
Class-based is something completely different from a MOBA.
They're heroes, just like MOBAs have.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
I can't wait for Dota's new MOBA card game.
Which is weird, because you hate MOBAs.
It is a MOBA card game.
It's totally not a MOBA card game.
Okay.
Anyway, continue.
So, but even with having the game be bought for me, everything, I should love it. There's no reason. It got great reviews. It still took me forever to be willing to sit down and actually plug a few games in and give it a try. And that's kind of like.
So what is that? Like,
that's my question. What is that? Like, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Conceptually, I loved it from the moment I heard about it. I'm like, oh, it's Battle Royale. We all get dropped on an island with nothing. We find weapons and we shoot each other, and one person is left standing.
Yeah.
But it took me forever to make the jump, pay the $30, and actually sit down and play it.
Same thing for me, and I got it for free.
So it's not. So it isn't just me and some kind of underlying autistic tendency where I get stuck on a game and I play it for 200 hours.
That's the thing. I'm going to play now that I've started playing PUBG. I am going to play it like every day for the next 6 months.
But it's like once that spell is broken, it's kind of broken, right? Like
it's hard to get back into stuff. No matter what it is. And actually, one of the games that did it for me, and this wasn't a game that I thought that I would like, and it was only because of the critical reception around it, and Nate even some words from you, but Persona 5, right? Like the fact that, okay, it's RPG, but it's anime and it's a slice of life sim at the same time. Like that wasn't anything that I thought that I would ever like or get into. But then once I sat down and played it, like that, one of the best games of the year.
See, and this happened to me a year ago. Two times in 1 week, someone finally said, okay, I'm going to buy you Life is Strange and I want you to play it. And I said, at the time I was dating them, so I said, okay.
I have Life is Strange.
And that's what it took to get me to play it. And I sat down and played it, and she checks back in with me like 3 hours later, and I'm like staring at the screen like, she's like, have you just been going for the last 3 hours? Like, yeah. When do I get to? Can I go back and save her? Like, she just died, and I can't make my powers work anymore.
Oh my god!
So
the one girl in the game dies.
oh no!
So do I have to play
you have no
it?
idea who.
Like, should I play it?
Oh god, yes, play it. But here's the point: that game, like, I respect that as a genre now, that kind of storytelling genre.
Right.
And then Undertale happened 4 days later. 2 times in a week, like the way I look at video games changed.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting or something that I experience is that like whenever I switch between two games, like it's almost like a rewiring in my head or in my synapses in my brain that needs to happen, because it's like for some reason, if I move off of my concentration from one game, if you don't use that knowledge, you lose it.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to get reacclimated to a game. I tried to go back and start playing through Dark Souls 3 DLC.
Oh god, I couldn't go back now.
I'm getting my shit fucking wrecked.
Right, and
wrecked. And this is on my campaign character. Like I didn't restart a fucking character. This isn't like a new game plus character. This is my main. I didn't fucking restart. This is my main character. I should be able to take it into the DLC and wreck shit. But
right.
Fucking From Software is smart in the way that they design their game, and they made it, and they bumped up the difficulty, and you feel it. And if you haven't played a From Software game in a while, it is like the hardest fucking content to try to reacclimate to.
That makes sense to me though, right? Because you're going back and you're kind of handicapped because you haven't played it in so long, right? Because I played so far through Persona 5 and then like restarted and played through it again, I got burnt out on it before I finished it, right? So now I've gone back to try to pick it back up, and I still remember everything. It's not hard to get back into the game, but now there's just something about it that after 15-20 minutes I get bored and I think, no, I want to play something else, even though I don't have anything else in mind.
Have you guys had this one happen? Have you finally broken down, bought a game and played it and said, wow, this game's great. It's really good. I have a lot of nice things to say about it. And then you never play it again after that first day.
Yeah,
I've been catching myself doing that. That was like
Persona 5 was that for me.
Yeah, Bravely Second, when I first sat down and played, I'm like, wow, it's not as good as default, but it's great. I'll definitely finish it. And then it was 6 months before I touched it again.
Far Cry 4, I did that recently with. I don't want to say 15 because there were different reasons for why I stopped playing 15.
Yeah, Stardew Valley. I really liked Stardew Valley, and I've not played it since the first night I owned it.
Yeah, Chris, we need to hear from you a little bit because you actually tend to shy away from modern day games.
Listen here, Synapse. Maybe watch out throwing those stones.
But no, modern day games you kind of shy away from on pretty much every level with a few exceptions. Overwatch and like Hearthstone are maybe the only two that you really play.
Hearthstone does not fucking count. Card games have been out for fucking decades.
But the point is, he normally just plays like retro, classic-y sort of stuff.
Yeah, but you can't call a game that traces its roots back fucking 40 years.
Well, then he literally just has Overwatch.
Yeah.
I play Eternal, okay?
It's another card game.
Fucking card games don't count.
He plays 2 card games, guys.
Card games don't fucking count. What's the difference? Like, honestly, like, for Hearthstone, if they printed it on fucking cardboard, there wasn't a digital version. You know what I mean? Like,
I wouldn't play it.
No, you would still, fuck you, you'd still play it.
I'd rather play Magic if I was going to play a physical card game.
See,
the reason I play
the value of Hearthstone is playing online.
Yeah, it's playing so I don't have to sit across from a stinky, smelly neckbeard.
Like himself.
I mean, you could just set up a camera.
Okay. Then I know what's in my hand. It doesn't work. I've tried that, Nate. But no, back in my Yu-Gi-Oh days, and there was no one else to play with.
Oh my god!
Back on point.
I did email card game, I cheated.
Oh my god!
Miraculously, I drew Pot of Greed into Darkstorm. How did that happen?
Oh my god! I have never wanted to give you a wedgie and call you a faggot more on the show ever in my life.
That's
Holy shit.
worse than people who play chess by mail.
Can I give you books and then dump them, please? Is that possible?
We need to get a old styrofoam cafeteria tray and just load it up with food so you can push it into his chest.
You know what? That I would love to do that because it would actually make him sad.
Except he's so fat he can eat so quickly that he'd eat all the food before he even gets on his clothes. LOL owned.
No, you would eat your food off your clothes.
That is more accurate. And more sad. Lots more sad.
Okay, beefaroni.
Okay, can we actually? I'm trying to actually have him contribute to the show in a meaningful way.
He is. We're laughing.
Are you?
Why don't you play modern games?
Modern. Why don't
Call
you
of
play
Duty Modern Warfare? Get with the times.
Why don't you play modern games?
Modern games? I don't know. They just don't hold any of my interest.
Why?
Why?
I don't know.
Like, how can you go back and play Final Fantasy VI, all week long and stream it, or turn on Bubsy?
What?
Why would you
Did you not see that in the chat?
Oh yeah.
He doesn't look at the chat ever.
He loaded Bubsy on his Raspberry Pi.
That was the first thing I loaded up. Why? I made a movie of it.
No, why?
I wanted to show you.
I'm not going to be mad. I'm just going to feel bad.
He was really proud of being able to get that thing up and running.
Well, yeah, it was easy once I, got rid of the faulty hardware. Or no, my computer's the faulty hardware. I just had to outsmart it.
No, nobody cares about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Why?
Not a single person.
Why?
Yeah.
Because modern games suck.
Chris, I know we give you a hard time, but you are better than Bubsy.
Okay, shut up. Callie, shut up. He is not.
We care about you. You have friends here.
I'm going to force you to play Bubsy at some point.
I've already had my life ruined. There's no going back.
Look,
I was straight before I played Bubsy.
So you're saying if I play Bubsy, I go gay?
I give up.
It's going to change you in some way. That's all I'm saying. You don't come out the person you went in.
So a valid question. Why don't you play modern games?
Would you stop saying modern?
No, I think it's too funny.
Jesus. I honestly don't have a good reason why, because I've tried playing Robbie's terrible Mass Effect games. I tried playing Breath of the Wild, which is an open world game, which I knew I hate, but I tried it because it's Zelda and I got to get into the game somehow. And I lost interest in that game, but I still go back to Super Nintendo games all the time. So I think I'm more into platformers than anything else.
Well, okay, so there aren't any new platformers that you've tried before?
Modern platformers are pretty rare.
Yeah, I mean,
unless you're looking at Meat Boy.
Yeah, I was just gonna say which is like
I was
or VVVVVV whatever the fuck that game is. But those
I've actually played that game.
Platforming today gets combined with shooter elements usually.
I feel like platformers, at least much more recently, have had this sort of increased, focus on bumping that challenge up, right? Like Super Meat Boy was crazy fast and you had to be really precise with everything. And I guess I understand, Chris, if you were into games from the Super Nintendo era and platformers of that type. There's not that many of them. There's like some pseudo 3D, platformers that I can think of, like when they did
Bubsy 3D.
when they did Bionic Commando. That was like one of the more recent, like, straight ahead platformers that I could think of.
Kind of like platformers as they've gotten into the next gen have kind of, I think, turned more into just like your open world adventure type games. Like the original Jak and Daxter game was kind of platformy, right? But then as it went to Jak 2 and then Jak 3, it just became like open world adventure games at that point.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess I kind of get that, like, like stuff like Crash Bandicoot may have been sort of the last gasps of that kind of gameplay.
Yeah, by that point, the Rareware bubble had burst. That was done with.
Right.
Yeah.
So what about, like, I mean, RPGs?
Mario.
You're into RPGs.
I play Mario games, like the Mario Sunshine, and
that's just Nintendo doing the thing that they know how to.
Okay, so I play Overwatch, but I think I'm more into like multiplayer games, and I wish I just had friends to play with.
Did you play like Rocket League and stuff?
Ugh, I hate sports.
It's not. I mean.
Okay, so if you're driving a car, doesn't make it a sport somehow?
No, it just makes it stupid.
Yeah. That's how NASCAR falls into that category.
So I guess I'm not into stupid games.
I mean,
okay.
What was the last like AAA game that you
really
enjoyed?
played?
That you that you really liked?
Oh man, he's got to go back a ways.
You have to answer in 3, 2, 1.
It had to be something on the Wii U.
I farted.
Something on the Wii U.
What did you say?
Does the Smash count as AAA?
Yeah.
I mean, it would, but
that's not the definition you're looking
like
for.
Bayonetta?
Non-Nintendo. Non-Nintendo.
No. Fucking but I mean, like, Smash Brothers is like a category unto itself. Like,
it's like taking Mario Party. It's like it's still just the same Mario Party.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, of course, like I wouldn't take Pokemon as an answer either.
I wouldn't either.
Oh, that was definitely the last game I was really into. I mean, even that wasn't really
like a Final Fantasy game, maybe.
13.
Really?
Remember, he did go to pretty extreme lengths to play the Zodiac version.
I mean, I do.
I still haven't played that.
I do know that you did genuinely enjoy 13.
13 was a pretty fun game. I played 13 too. I don't think I actually beat it though.
Did you beat the first 13 though?
I did beat the first one.
Okay.
And I wanted to play 13.3, and I have it on my computer, but I still haven't gotten around to playing it.
Wait, so you beat 13.1 and said, yes, give me more? I beat 13, but when I heard 13.2 and I said, fuck you.
Which was, I think, better than the first one.
It was, yeah. Definitely.
Was it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I think 13 is the only Final Fantasy game that I've never seen through to completion.
Ditto.
I think that's
Did you play
the
Final
only
Fantasy
one.
2?
You know what?
Probably at some point.
2 is the...
Not 4... Robbie.
2 was the only other one that I stalled out on.
3?
I definitely played through all of 3. All of 1.
I haven't done those. I haven't done the Nintendo ones.
I did the
hashtag my biggest shame.
I did the Nintendo DS version of 3, and I beat that shit on a plane. No,
train.
Or was it a train? Yeah, it was a train.
I actually played through, like, a long time ago, like during high school. I played Final Fantasy 3 on an emulator,
like a translated ROM.
Translation.
I've seen that,
and then the translation stopped when I got into like Minitown, and I'm like, I can't beat this game now.
Was it the translation where they all were talking like straight out of the hood?
No.
Oh, that was the translation that I had, and it was confusing as all fuck. But like you, the translations suddenly stopped in the last dungeon. I made it all the way to the last dungeon and had no idea what they were talking about after that. I'm like, fuck.
Final Encountercast on Skype. 810-207-1764. We've got a few minutes left here in the show. If you want to share what was the last game that you played through, what's a game that you've stalled out on? Do you actually try less games out now than you used to when you were younger, or are you playing more games and different types of games now than ever? Because I feel like it's not just like we may be one side of the coin, but I think like because of digital distribution, that there are people out there who are playing and trying more varieties of games than ever.
Yeah, and her name's Nika.
I definitely have more games than I've ever had, thanks to Steam and when we stream.
That is
people
true. Yeah,
gifting us stuff. Like I have over 100 games from probably Ryoku alone. Yeah.
Wow, he bought me KOTOR.
Nice.
Yeah, for my birthday.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
$4.99 KOTOR. Thank you.
That's
all
cool.
you're worth, Tim. $4.99.
well, I mean,
I have the whole Legacy of Kain collection on Steam, but
nice.
I played through those games, when they were coming out, so there's a good chance I'll never play through them again.
I've wanted to play the South Park, the stick game.
Stick of Truth?
Yeah.
I've had that on my computer for months now.
You actually should.
I want to. I want to
if you
so bad,
start,
I just don't.
If you start the game, it has enough really classic RPG elements that once you start, you're not going to be able to stop.
Yeah.
I just gotta spend the time and double click it and open it. That's what it amounts to. I also want to try that Suikoden game.
Suikoden game?
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, that's one that I can
on
also
your Vita.
That I can
Do
also
it,
cop
man.
to. Yeah. No, I even have Suikoden 1 and 2 downloaded on my Vita. And ready to go. I own Suikoden 3 on PlayStation 3.
I've actually been playing through 5 on an emulator.
Okay.
That's actually what I've been playing the most.
End of story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
okay.
You guys were sharing, so I shared.
Am I supposed? I've never played any of them. I don't know how I'm supposed to respond.
I haven't played 5 before, so
that's nice.
I just want to learn how to. I just want to play them so I can make fun of Nika for them.
That's fair.
I also want to find a way to kill Vicky in all the games because that would make her really upset.
But no, Suikoden is definitely a game series that I've wanted to try out. It's just, I think part of it.
Disgaea 5. I wanted to play
Fuck
that game.
you. Fuck you.
What?
Leave. No one says Disgaea in this fucking studio. Disgaea is
Disgaea.
all of you leave.
Disgaea? It's such a good game.
It's such a terrible game.
The number one is pretty rough, but once
it's weird because I remember watching. I don't know if it was you or Matt. It must have been you because Matt's terrible at games.
Yeah.
But I remember watching you and actually enjoying watching it. But whenever I sat down and tried to play it myself, I'm like, I can't fucking do this. No way.
It's so weeb.
It's so bad.
It's so weeb.
It is. It really is. And you know what I think part of it, at least part of it is that, at least starting out a game series, and especially an RPG, you know what kind of investment you're in for.
Yeah.
I was when I bought my PS4, the only game that I had for it was Uncharted, and I got through Uncharted 1 and 2, but I think the reason that I got through them so quickly was
nothing else.
I knew that it was not going to be a big investment. I knew that my play time was not going to be longer than 8, 9, 10 hours.
That's a really good point. PUBG, what's the longest a game's going to take? A half hour? Maybe that's why I was willing to sit down and try it a few times.
And in most cases too, that half an hour if you get to the end,
if you're not first dead.
If you fall to a few places where there's no good loot and you don't have loot within the first 5 minutes, you're unarmed for the rest of the game.
Have you had a game yet where you died first?
Pretty close.
I had a first down.
Oh, you were literally the first person killed.
96 of 96. I landed on a building roof with another guy, and I ran over to grab a gun. He just ran over and donkey punched me. He landed near a gun and I landed near a gun, so I thought we'd both go for him, and he's like, he just runs over and clocks me.
See, I got into a fist fight with a guy once over a gun. Some third person came and picked it up and blew both of us away.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if you're the first to die in PUBG,
does it shame you at all?
You feel shitty.
No, when you die, it's just all right, game over, leave the match and enter a new one.
Yeah, you just exit and go to another game. You don't have to sit around and watch.
Can you sit around and watch though?
Your dead body.
You just watch your corpse. You can't see what else is going on.
It doesn't have a spectator mode.
Oh no, you don't get to see who killed you. You don't get to see
just like in real life. When you die, it's over.
You don't get that satisfaction of seeing he was behind the tree over there.
Oh, I know.
You are left because I had a time where I was on the ground and it felt like I went 360 around him. He can shoot me from every angle. Right. Where the fuck is this guy? And then I died, and I'm like, you'll never know.
You will never ever know.
It's the most angering.
Oh, the most frustrating feeling.
And you know what it makes you do? You jump right back into another game. You're like, I'm going to be the first one out of this fucking plane. I'm going to get a gun. I'm going to shoot someone.
So granted that the game is still in early access, but do you think that eventually they're going to end up adding some kind of spectator mode or some kind of replay after you die? Because I think especially Maybe not if you're 96 out of 96, okay?
Yeah,
right? Like,
watch, yeah.
Maybe within that top 10, I want to know who wins. I want to know who wins and how they fucking do it.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I could kind of see that. I've really enjoyed just the idea that I die, my game's over, I hop into another game and keep on going.
I mean,
I've
yeah,
kind of
no.
that.
And again, I don't think that, it should always be an option to hop out afterwards.
Right.
But if I wanted to watch the rest of that,
if you make it to the top 10, you kind of want to know who went on to win at that
especially,
point. I can see that.
like if you've been playing for a while, like, yeah, absolutely.
I was in a poker tournament one time, and it was like an 18-hour. I had been in for 18 hours. We started with 20,000 people, and I was at the final table with like 6 other people, and I went out in like 4th place. Won $3,000, by the way, which was nice. Anyway, but despite the fact that I'd been up for 18 hours, there was no fucking way I was getting up from the computer at that point. I want to know who went on to win.
At least you got $3,000 out of your
not bad on my dollar investment to play.
Out of your 18
somehow?
fucking hours.
No, I did not cheat.
I just can't wrap my head around the fact that you did something right.
I'm a good poker player.
Really?
Or I used to be. I haven't played in a long time now.
Well, to be fair, he was on the computer, so you don't have to have a good poker face. You just have to play the odds.
Okay, fair enough.
It's true. I was good with the numbers.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
all right.
I think that's
it. Are we there? Can we go home and play PUBG now?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
I can.
We have another show.
Damn it!
Yeah, we've
What?
got an entirely another show to do.
He was sold. I had him going.
Yeah,
Because he's an idiot.
no, I just agree with
He's
things.
the epitome of literally the most moronic person ever, a.k.a. Skirl.
The epitome.
Is that intrinsic to how I act too?
That is a
Only when you're in Colorado.
It's the modern thing.
What?
Modern.
Yeah, God damn, he can't even say the joke right.
We're gonna have to put an asterisk on this episode.
All right, guys, that's going to do it here for Final Encountercast. Today, I want to appreciate, I want to say thank you. That's what I wanted to say. I want to say thank you for joining us. Appreciate having you along. FinalEncountercast.com is where you can find an archive of this show. We also make another show called Checkpoint Radio. You can check that out over at checkpointradio.com. Subscribe to that podcast feed for news updates that come out on Thursday and Friday, and the Checkpoint Radio podcast that comes out on Saturdays. Guys, thanks so much for joining us here today for Final Encountercast. I want to thank my crew, of course, Kooky Persona, who's been hanging out, answering calls, Skuro, who manages our YouTube page, and my in-studio crew. Wow, that was a bad
Nice
voice
crack.
crack. Yeah. Robbie, Chris, Callie, my name's Nate. Have a good one. Final Encountercast is a production of FinalEncountercast.com, Limit Break Radio, and Bender Media Productions. Today's episode was produced by Kooky Persona. This show is made possible by the generous Patreon donors of the podcast Limit Break Radio. Opening music provided by Keyboard Kid. More info and music can be found at keyboardkid206.bandcamp.com. Closing music provided by Sobsy. For more info, visit sobsy.bandcamp.com. Final Encountercast and its hosts are solely responsible for its content.